Here are the most deadly mythical creatures to ever exist or not exist. Hopefully, the arthropod. Imagine a bear that could outrun a horse, stand taller than a grizzly, and eat 35 pounds of meat every single day. That's arthropod, also known as the short-faced bear, native to North America until about 11,000 years ago. This predator wasn't just big, it was fast, aggressive, and hungry. Standing over 12 feet tall when upright and with legs built for speed, arthropod was a terrifying mix of brute strength and terrifying agility. If this beast still roamed the forest today, a camping trip would require more than just bear spray. The Megalodon. If Jaws gave you nightmares, just wait until you meet Megalodon. This prehistoric shark was the size of a school bus, over 60 feet long, with teeth as large as your hand. It ruled the oceans for millions of years, preying on whales and other massive marine animals. Its bite force was the strongest of any known animal in history. Some believe its extinction was due to colder oceans and dwindling prey, but whatever the cause, we should count ourselves lucky. A single megalodon lurking near modern beaches would change ocean swimming forever. The mega piranha. Today's piranhas are already scary in packs, but their ancestor Mega Piranha took things to a whole new level. Roughly 3 feet long and weighing over 20 pounds, it had 2 rows of razor-sharp teeth that could slice through bone like butter. Fossils suggest it may have preyed on creatures much larger than itself, possibly even juvenile marine reptiles or large fish. With bite pressure exceeding that of a modern alligator, this oversized fish was a serious problem in prehistoric South American rivers. The Camarakiers. Long before squids evolved into the jet-propelled predators we know today, there was Camarakiers, a 30 to 40 foot long marine monster that looked like a cross between a squid and a narwhal. It had a long conical shell that gave it stability in the water and allowed it to ambush prey with precision. Armed with massive tentacles and a beak designed to crush shells and armor, Camarakiers was a slow-moving but deadly predator of the Ordovician seas. Imagine diving and seeing that torpedo-shaped beast drifting toward you. No thanks. The Leviathan Melville, named after both the biblical sea monster and Herman Melville, author of Moby Dick. Leviathan Melville was the whale equivalent of a T-Rex. This prehistoric sperm whale grew to nearly 60 feet and had the longest teeth of any known animal, up to 14 inches long. Unlike modern sperm whales that eat squid, Leviathan hunted other whales. It shared the oceans with Megalodon, and the two may have even competed for prey. Talk about an ocean rivalry straight out of a monster movie, the Arthropod. Meet the largest creepy crawly to ever skitter across land, Arthropod. It looked like a millipede from hell, growing over 8 feet long. Though it was likely herbivorous, the sight alone would be enough to send anyone running. It had a hard, segmented shell and may have been able to rear up and meet you eye to eye. Even knowing it didn't eat meat, you wouldn't want to stumble across one while hiking through a carboniferous forest. The Helicoprion. One of the weirdest looking animals in prehistoric history, Helicoprion was a shark-like fish with a circular saw blade inside its mouth. Its teeth grew in a continuous spiral, not unlike a roll of tape, forming a buzzsaw jaw used to slice through prey. Scientists puzzled over its remains for over a century before finally piecing together its horrifying face. This nightmare of evolution lived around 270 million years ago, long enough ago for us to say thank goodness. The Platybelodon. Take an elephant, now give it a jaw shaped like a shovel. That's Platybelodon, a Miocene mammal that used its bizarre mouth to scoop aquatic vegetation. While technically a herbivore, its sharp scythe-like tusks and massive jaw could still do serious damage. These animals lived in swampy areas across Africa and Asia and likely weighed several tons. Let's just say it's a good thing they stuck to plants, probably. The Deinosuchus. As if modern crocodiles weren't scary enough, Deinosuchus, meaning terrible crocodile, was the size of a city bus and could crush bone like it was popcorn. It lived alongside dinosaurs, and fossils of its prey still bear the massive bite marks from its powerful jaws. Growing up to 35 feet long, it likely ambushed even the mightiest of predators, dragging them into the water with terrifying ease. Basically, a dinosaur-eating supercroc, the Megalania. A 20-foot-long venomous monitor lizard? Yes please, never. Megalania roamed ancient Australia and likely overlapped with the earliest human inhabitants. It was the largest land lizard to ever live and may have hunted kangaroos and giant wombats. Some even believe that Aboriginal dragon legends stem from sightings of this massive reptile. Between its toxic saliva and crushing bite, Megalania was Australia's original apex predator, the Argentavis magnificens. This wasn't just a bird, it was a flying titan. Argentavis magnificens, often called the largest flying bird to ever live, had a wingspan of nearly 23 feet and weighed over 150 pounds. Found in South America, it soared above plains and mountains like a shadow of death. With talons the size of human hands, it could snatch up small mammals, and its sheer size meant it dominated the skies. Imagine looking up and seeing a bird that could block out the sun and then realizing it's circling. For you, the Forest Racco's terror bird. Flightless but deadly, the so-called terror bird was a 10-foot-tall apex predator with a hooked beak that could crush skulls. It ruled South America for millions of years after the dinosaurs disappeared. Unlike modern ostriches or emus, Forest Raccos ran fast, hunted actively, and delivered killing blows with its beak like a sledgehammer. Even without wings, it was more than capable of asserting its dominance over anything in its path. The Titanochores gaines go back 500 million years to the Cambrian seas, and you'd find Titanochores, a bizarre alien-looking arthropod nearly 2 feet long, which was huge for the time. With a circular mouth full of jagged teeth, spiny claws for scooping prey, and swimming flaps along its sides, it was built to dominate. If you think bugs are creepy now, imagine if they were armored, ancient, and nearly the size of your arm, the Anomalocaris. Even earlier in history, another aquatic nightmare reigned, Anomalocaris. This 6-foot-long shrimp-like creature had barbed arms and a terrifying circular mouth filled with jagged plates. It was fast, agile, and predatory, feeding on soft-bodied animals that had no chance against its grip. The fact that it looks like something out of a horror video game just proves that evolution didn't always care about aesthetics or our nightmares. The Dunkleosteus. Meet the tank of the prehistoric seas. Dunkleosteus was a massive armored fish nearly 30 feet long with bone-crushing jaws that could snap down in milliseconds. Instead of teeth, it had sharpened bony plates capable of slicing other armored creatures in half. Fossils suggest it even ate its own kind. This wasn't just a predator, it was a relentless killing machine with the bite force of a modern alligator on prehistoric steroids. The Meganeura. If dragonflies make you uneasy, then Meganeura is your worst nightmare. With a wingspan of over 2.5 feet, this carboniferous giant looked like a modern dragonfly, but on monster mode. It likely hunted amphibians, insects, and small vertebrates. The high oxygen levels of the time allowed insects to grow to outrageous sizes, and Meganeura took full advantage, swatting it with a newspaper. Yeah, good luck with that. The Titanoboa? Snakes already creep out a lot of people. Now imagine one that was over 40 feet long and weighed more than a ton. Titanoboa was the undisputed king of post-dinosaur reptiles, lurking in humid Colombian jungles over 60 million years ago. It could crush giant crocodiles with its coils and swallow them whole. If it still lived today, swimming in rivers would be a memory, and maybe humans wouldn't be the top predator anymore. The Phobaramus pattersoni. If rats give you the chills, meet Phobaramus, the ratzilla of South America. It looked like a guinea pig the size of a bull, growing over 10 feet long and weighing up to 1,500 pounds. Its teeth were a foot long, designed for chewing thick plant matter, but its sheer size and gnawing power made it feel more like a boss-level enemy than a rodent. Imagine the sound of it chewing through bark like a chainsaw in the jungle. The Edestis. Another prehistoric shark, but this one looked like it was designed by a horror novelist. Edestis, nicknamed the scissor-toothed shark, didn't lose its teeth, it pushed old ones forward, forming jagged, curling rows that stuck out of its mouth like shears. Its bite would have sliced prey in half like paper. Fossils suggest it may have hunted by slashing side to side, not biting down but cutting like a pair of underwater scissors. The Haste's eagle, Harpagornis moray. This bird was the stuff of nightmares for early humans in New Zealand. Haste's eagle was the largest eagle to ever exist, with an 8 to 10 foot wingspan and talons as large as a tiger's claws. It preyed on massive flightless birds, and some oral histories suggest it may have even snatched children. Once humans began to hunt its main food source, the moa, the eagle followed them into extinction. But for a time, it was a skyborne terror with the strength of a lion and the speed of a hawk. The Gigantopithecus. Bigfoot may be a myth, but Gigantopithecus was very real and very, very big. Standing nearly 10 feet tall and weighing over 1,000 pounds, this ape roamed the forests of Asia up until around 100,000 years ago. Though it was probably herbivorous, its sheer size would have made it incredibly dangerous if provoked. Fossils suggest it may have coexisted with early humans, so the legends of jungle giants may have been based on real encounters. The hallucigenia. Now for something weird, hallucigenia was a tiny worm-like creature from over 500 million years ago, but its design was so alien that scientists weren't even sure which side was up. It had long tentacle-like limbs on one side and sharp spines on the other. For a while they thought the spines were legs, its head, a mystery, its body, a nightmare. It's a good thing this creature stayed small, because if it had grown larger, nothing in the Cambrian seas would have been safe. The Pentacopterus decorahensis, named after the Greek warship, the Pentaconter, this 5-foot-long sea scorpion prowled the oceans around 460 million years ago. Pentacopterus was one of the earliest known eurypterids, armed with massive claws, a segmented body, and the kind of speed and agility that made it a nightmare for smaller sea life. It's one of the oldest predators ever found and proof that the oceans were dangerous, long before sharks even existed. The Smilodon, saber-toothed cat, with its iconic curved fangs and muscular build, Smilodon is often mistaken for a big lion, but it was much more dangerous. These cats were ambush predators, using stealth and precision to take down prey much larger than themselves. Their 11-inch teeth weren't for chewing, they were for slicing throats. Fossils suggest they even fought in packs, like lions on steroids. While awe-inspiring, they were pure killing machines, and it's probably for the best that we only see them in museums now. As terrifying as these animals were, they played essential roles in Earth's history. They shaped evolution, dominated ecosystems, and left behind clues that help us understand the world today. But let's be honest, we're lucky they're gone. Because if we still shared the planet with half-ton insects, whale-eating sharks, and eagle-sized vultures with child-snatching talons, humanity might have never made it past the Stone Age.